Right, so hinging, here's the best way I have found to do it that truly unlocks your hip. What you need to do is get your weight forward into your midfoot. What you need to happen is you need to get your entire leg working as a unit to give your hip the opportunity to load and fire. The thing about RDLs and hinging where we get back on our heels is that they don't demand anything from our foot and our lower leg. We get the stretch into the hamstring and you'll feel it into the hips if you can get that hinge movement correct. But it doesn't really integrate the entire leg in a way that happens in running and walking, for example. Watch what happens when I take my body weight from my heel and look at my calf. As I start to shift forward to this position, see how my calf starts to engage. My soleus starts to engage. You see my hamstring engage and my quad engage. And then as I sit back into my hip and keep that engagement, now I can isolate more of that load into this posterior part of my hip. And I'm putting really nice length into the glutes and into that tissue on the back side of the hip. I can still get some length here, but it doesn't really give me that winding up, that locked and loaded position, okay? You'll find if you get to this position with the weight in your midfoot, with everything else in your leg co-contracting to create this nice stable leg shape, that stable leg shape gives you that locked and loaded position that now the hip can become that primary hinge and pivot point. If you hinge when you're heavy on your heels, in order for you to really express that load through your hips and have your body kind of just do that as a reaction, you would need to go from this position, shift your way forward and then move. You can't move from your heels. Your heels are like, they're the braking and contact point, and then you transition through the foot, load in that midfoot, and then propel yourself eventually through the ball of that big toe. So what you want to do with your hinges is get yourself to that locked and loaded position, have the entire leg co-contract to create this really solid leg shape, and that's the spring that you need to propel forward. And that involves the foot, the soleus, the hamstring, the quad, and the hip all working together. Your entire leg working as a leg should. And if you want to know more about that, I have created a 15-minute hip unlock protocol, which talks through each of these individual components and how to put them all together and train them together. And then it puts it into a very specific 15-minute routine that you can do over and over again to really unlock that posterior hip and unlock the power of your glutes and your entire body. So comment unlock below. I'll send you the link to be able to check that out.